So hi, welcome to Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with
Busy.
And we're asking some questions today about our upcoming single, Default Settings. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response, the announcement so far?
So good. I'm literally so excited. It's such like a new chapter in the artistry stuff. So I'm pumped.
Hell yeah. Fucking
yeah.
rocks. And
it is so good.
Yeah. This song especially, unfortunately, resonates very deeply for me right now with what's been going on. So I enjoy it a lot. I jammed it a lot this morning because I'm like, damn, this one hits.
You're in the loop. You're in that cycle of just continuing going back.
Worst. Yeah.
Damn. So is there any meaning behind the single title or cover art?
Okay, so yes. Well, the cover and so the title Default Setting is just like we came up with it in the right, and it was one of those that I was like talking about this guy that I continually went back to and was like, every time it doesn't matter how many people I date in between, like I just keep thinking about this one person. And one of my co-writers was like, oh, so it's like your default setting. And I was like, bam, that's the title of the song. So that's kind of how we originated with that. And then the cover art is actually kind of like an ode to the video that comes out also the same day. And it'll honestly make a lot more sense when you see the video, but it's kind of just like Default Setting in my mind reminds me of very like digital and like that kind of world of like computers and TVs and everything. So it was kind of just like bringing that world into the song and trying to like tie it all in together as one concept.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Makes sense.
So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for this track?
Yeah, so this one we actually wrote this song like 2 years ago.
Oh,
and
shit.
I know, it's crazy. And it's stayed one of my favorite songs. We just like didn't have the room for it on the last CP and it didn't feel like it quite fit. So it felt like the perfect first beginning of this kind of next chapter. And so we wrote it like, so 2 years ago I walked into the room and again like was just really complaining about the whole situation. And it was with three of my best friends, Sarah Underwood, Gabby Scotto, and Tony Chetta, all three amazing writers. And we were really just like shooting the shit and kind of fell into our lap and wrote the song in like 2 hours. And I was like, yeah, I love it. Like didn't really think much of it. And then continued to just like loop it on my demo list and was like, okay, this has to come out. And then finally it is coming out.
Gotcha.
Finally. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
So this one was with co-writers. Is your music in general mainly with co-writers, or do you also write on your own?
Yeah, I love writing on my own. It kind of depends, like depending on what mood I'm in and how I'm feeling. Like I still love writing on my own. I think that's always going to be a thing. I started that way and it's more just like a therapy session for me to like walk through that, whether it comes out or not. I'm always writing new stuff. This one was a co-write, but it just kind of switches depending on if the song feels right enough to like go out.
Gotcha. So there's not like one that you favor over the other. It's just what the song calls for.
Yeah, kind of. Like sometimes I'll even start songs and I'll get like a verse and a chorus and I'm like, okay, like I can finish this, but like it would be so much better if I had another like amazing mind in the room.
That makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
So for this question, I want you to tell us your favorite lyric off this track and what it means to you.
Okay, my favorite lyric is it's not even like you're the patron saint of dating. And that one I came up with, it was like so random. We were like trying to figure out where the second verse should start. And I was like, he wasn't even a freaking good boyfriend. Like he's just like the worst. And like I was complaining about the fact that like I'm going back to like a shitty human. And I was like, it's not even like he's the patron saint of dating. And we all looked at each other and we were like, that's the weirdest line ever, but we love it.
Yeah.
So we threw that in there. It was just like a fun little kind of quirky moment.
I fucking love it.
Yeah, that's a banger.
Yeah, clocked.
So I think that this song's pretty dead on the nose, but gonna ask anyway, where was your headspace at while you were writing this track?
I mean, you already know I was looping. I was literally, I think I was like home for the weekend. I had been home for the weekend like a week before the song and like had seen the guy or whatever. And it was just like one of those things that was like so fresh. And I had tried to date this other guy before that. And I was like, he's fine. But like, I just kept going freaking back to this one guy. So it was just like really just agitated and frustrated with myself.
Gotcha. Are most of your songs like these personal situations, or do you ever write like outside of that, you know, making up stories and shit like that?
I'll definitely like write those songs, but the ones that I always end up cutting and like feeling so honest is the ones that are real. They're just like, it's just a diary for me. And I think it makes it more real for the audience because we're all going through the same thing. It's just in different kind of scenarios that we go through. And so I enjoy performing those the most because I like can really pull from real emotions and like really give it my all dramatic wise.
Absolutely.
For sure. And while going forward with those, I know you've been doing this, but like, is there any hesitation or anxiety with putting music like that out? Like thinking, oh my God, what if that person hears it? Or what if people judge me for this? Is there anything like that? Or are you just cool with it?
Totally, but I also kind of love it because I was literally talking to my sister about this yesterday, and I was like, she was like, I would never date a songwriter, and I was like, I know because like we get the last word
Mm-hmm.
forever and ever
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Like I'm telling the truth in mine, but I could have twisted the narrative, I could have whatever. Like there's so many things, and it's just like I love it. Like it gives me so much power, and it's just like fuck yeah, that's fun.
Damn
Oh yeah.
right. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So this one should be super, super quick off top of your head. I want you to describe this track for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
Okay, anthemic, fun, diaristic.
Ooh,
Those are good.
damn right.
Hell
Not
yeah.
even a word. Did I just make that up?
I think you might have made it up, but I'm rolling with it. You know, I was gonna let it slide.
But everybody knows what I'm talking about when I say that. It's like diary vibes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You just made diary
An
vibes
entry.
one word, whether or not that was a word.
Yeah.
You know, we just made one.
Diaristic. And I said it so confidently too. I was like,
I believed you. Yeah, I was like, oh, I guess that is a word.
Yeah.
All right.
I only started second guessing when you second guessed yourself.
Mhm.
You had me
Oh.
sold.
okay, great.
And then that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the track?
I want this one to be like a roll your windows down and scream in the car with your friends and be like, God damn it. But also like hype as well.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Damn right. And are you able to touch on any certain feelings or moments that you went through while going through this track, positive or negative?
Yeah, so this one was a really like big kind of learning track for me in production and stuff. I feel like I'm changing my sound like a little bit. It's definitely not this like drastic like moving to another genre,
Mhm.
but it was a lot. It was a big process of figuring out the right producer to do it and figuring out like how far to lean pop and how far to lean rock and like kind of all these things. And it was like really cool, but honestly very frustrating and very like oh my God, like I have this sound in my head and I have no idea how to translate that out into the world.
Mhm.
So very like introspective and kind of like a learning experience, but one that I'm so glad I went through because it helped me like for the next songs that will come out kind of find a path and created some neural pathways in my mind too.
Gotcha.
Yeah, for sure. And
Um,
earlier you mentioned that you've been sitting on this track for 2 years. Is that 2 years that you've been working on it, or is that 2 years it's been done and you've been waiting to release it?
Okay, so 2 years, it's been a year that we've been working on it, but 2 years that we wrote it. So it kind of just sat in my demo pile for a while. And then when we were like, all right, we now are at the point of like releasing new music that hasn't been like completely done already. That was top of mind. And then we really worked on it. We had to figure out producer, and we had to figure out like direction and all that. And that one took a while.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
And
Makes
you,
sense.
you mentioned like you with the song, you're trying to find that perfect balance of like the pop, but the rock and where to lean in those worlds. Do you feel that you found that with this song and what's going to be coming out? Or are you still working towards the ultimate goal?
I think I'm still working towards it. And I think that's something like I really want my listeners to know is like I think the beauty in that is like we're all growing together, and the fear in that is we're all growing together. And like one thing I love about like artists that I've seen is like we do grow together, and there's times where I'm like, oh, that doesn't really feel like them, or oh, that feels great or whatever. But just knowing that there's like a fan base that kind of can know what's going on and can see what's going on with that is like my favorite part of it all, I think.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
That's good.
Now we've beat this single to hell. You've mentioned you've got more stuff coming. Gotta ask, what's next for you and your project?
Mhm.
Lots of new music. I can't really say a lot, but lots of new music and maybe some shows.
Okay. Maybe.
Ooh,
Nice.
curious. All right, sounds good. And for this question, I want you to picture you're on tour. You're at a gas station for a rest stop. You're going in. What is your snack of choice?
I love this question.
Me
Okay.
too.
I'm on tour. So the problem is I'm such a little shit on tour because I try and eat really healthy because I get
Okay.
sick so easily.
Mhm.
That's fine.
My snack of choice. I love like Cheez-Its cheese puffs, which like I love that I just said I try and eat really healthy and then I like go to the cheese puffs.
Cheese puffs. Yeah.
Those are really good, and like a yellow Gatorade. I know that's like an
Ooh,
unpopular opinion. Normally it's the light blue, but the yellow just hits for me.
yellow's good as hell. I rock
Yeah.
with it. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Damn right.
And on topic of food, if your project was a dish, what dish would it be and why?
This is serving like a bougie dessert. We're not going to like McDonald's McFlurries. Don't get me wrong, I love those.
Mhm.
But we're giving like a little like espresso chocolate mousse moment.
Ooh,
Okay.
Yeah.
damn. That's like fucking luxurious. That's fucking beautiful.
Thank you
Mm,
so much.
hell yeah. And for these last couple questions, we're actually gonna shift away from music if that's okay with you.
Please.
Great. So we're actually gonna go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're
Okay.
on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
You're kidding. I literally asked my friend this 2 days ago and we like
No
planned it all
fucking
out.
way.
I have this
Okay.
in my head. But
Okay.
okay, in my death row moment, I could go to different restaurants and pick like an appetizer here and a whatever here. Can I do that in this?
Yeah, for sure.
Great, I have it. Okay, so we're going for our appetizer to Chick-fil-A and we're getting their fries.
Okay.
And for our main course meal, we're going to Lemongrass and getting their pad thai.
Oh.
Then for the dessert, there's this place in Wisconsin that my mom grew up in Wisconsin, so we'd go as like kids.
Mhm.
And oh, what is it called? I forget the name of the donut shop, but it's like a tiny little donut shop, and they make their own donuts every morning. And there's like a Boston cream that they make, and it is to die for. So I'd
Yeah.
have that as my dessert. And as my drink, like a little espresso martini.
Ooh,
All right.
classy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And if you could live in one fiction world for a week, where would you live?
Fiction world for a week.
Mm-hmm.
Harry Potter, but I'd have to be Hermione because she's like smart as shit.
Oh, so you would be Hermione. You wouldn't want to just be like a
Well,
Gryffindor.
well, like sure. I wouldn't want to like whatever, but like I want to have the talents of someone that can survive in that atmosphere. Like let's just say that. Like I couldn't go in as me because like I would be dead in 5 seconds.
Yeah, you'd
No
like
way. I
spawn
need
in the
some
middle of the
back
war.
knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
That'd be
the
fucking awful.
Dementors would come for me in a minute. I'm
Oh,
their snack.
tragic. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah. Ooh. All right. Sounds good.
But yeah,
Um,
Harry Potter would be sick.
Harry Potter's locked in. So I have the honor of asking the last question. Every single person we've spoken to has actually said it is the most important question.
Great.
What is your favorite color?
And thank God you asked.
Hmm.
My favorite color switches a lot.
Okay.
Right now, it's probably like a bright orange.
Ooh, I love
Yeah.
orange.
Kind of like
Mhm.
what am I wearing? I'm wearing my Brave shirt, kind of like that
That's
little
a
one.
good orange. Yeah.
Nice.
What's
Mhm.
it right now?
So as Gloria said, that's all the questions I have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
No, I don't think so. I'm just stoked to have you guys interviewing. Thank you. This is so fun.
Of course.
Of
Well,
course.
thank you for Snaz. Been busy, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.